Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I create volume in my hair. So if you have wavy or curly hair and you find that your roots get flat really easily, I'm going to be showing you how you can create more volume. Obviously right now my hair isn't looking super voluminous, so I am going to show you guys a quick tip that I do when I'm like in a rush and I just want to create more volume in my hair, as well as different techniques and different things that you can do on a regular basis to create more volume overall. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the video, but before we do, don't forget to subscribe down below if you have not already. You can give it a thumbs up if you do enjoy it, and I would also love for you guys to come join me over on Instagram and Twitter if you want to be more a part of this community that we are creating right now. So let's just go ahead and jump into the video. So we're going to start with the basics. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys kind of a quick way that I add a volume to my hair when I feel like it's looking a little bit flat. And that is shaking out the roots with dry shampoo. You guessed it. I know this is a pretty basic tip, but it's definitely something worth trying out if you are struggling with volume at your roots and even just like throughout your hair. If you do find that your hair gets really frizzy when you do this, I would definitely recommend using a little bit of an oil, not anything too intense, because you don't want your hair to get weighed down. But I really like the Verb Ghost oil as well as just pure argan oil. This is something that I use sometimes as well. And I just use a very, very small amount of this in my hand, rub it all over my hands, and then I just spread it over my hair and scrunch it in, and that really helps to define it and prevent frizz if you're really shaking it out when you're trying to create that volume. So first thing we're going to do is, like I said, use some dry shampoo. The one I have here is the Not Your Mother's Beach Babe Texturizing Dry Shampoo. I also like Batiste dry shampoo. You can really use whatever works for you. So I'm just going to shake it up. I'm going to start with a really deep part over here on the side of my hair. And I like to use quite a bit of this just because I feel like this dry shampoo really doesn't leave much of a residue or like white color on your hair. So I can use a decent amount. Then I'm going to flip it back over, put my fingers underneath my hair, and then shake. So I'm really just like shaking it out. And then we're going to move to like the center part. It really does shake out super easily and quickly. If you have really dark hair, you might have to shake a little harder, and this is first day hair. Like, I washed my hair today, but I still like to do this when I need some volume because you can kind of use it as like a texturizing spray as well. It doesn't just need to be for when your hair is oily. Remember, reaching under the hair so you're not disturbing the actual curls. And then I'm going to take both of my hands one last time and just... So as you can see, that definitely instantly adds a lot of volume and just like you kind of get big hair. Like I said, if you find that this creates frizz, you can definitely use an oil to smooth it out. Another like long-term thing that you can do to create more volume or more of a lifted look in your hair is to get like hidden layers or do some texturizing when you're actually getting your hair cut, because that's going to make the top layers of your hair shorter, therefore lighter, and it's going to kind of bounce up a little easier on your head versus if your hair is just like all one length. Something that I also do is not having a very specific part where I always have my hair. I really like to kind of like flip my hair around and give it a turn on this side, and then maybe sometimes I will even let it part like in the middle and just like fall naturally and do its own thing. Because the thing that I find a lot of the time is if you have just one part that you're keeping your hair there all the time, is it can really start to get used to it. Your hair gets used to being parted there, and then it starts to flatten, and you can actually cause like breakage or thinning in that part of your hair where if you're parting it in the same place all the time. So I don't really have like a specific part for my hair. I really just kind of let it fall and do its own thing. You guys will notice that often I have my hair parted like in a pretty deep part on this side like this, and this is how I'll often wear it when I'm on YouTube, just because honestly I really like how my hair looks in this part, and I feel like it looks voluminous and defined. And so a lot of the time when I'm like going out and I want my hair to look really good, or if I'm just like filming a video, I will do this part because I feel like it's what my hair looks best with. But if I would do it all the time, then my hair would get flat and kind of used to that, and it wouldn't look good anymore, and I'd have to flip it to the other side to create that. So if If you just don't give your hair a very specific part and you kind of let it do its own thing, then when you're actually going out and you want your hair to look good, and then you can create your favorite part and it's going to look a lot more voluminous and bouncy that way, I guess, if that makes sense. Another thing that you can do is to style your hair upside down or even wash your hair upside down, like sticking your head under the faucet of your tub and washing your hair that way, or when you're applying your products, flip your head over and apply them upside down so that when you flip your hair back over, you're getting more of that volume. That's just kind of how it works. Like if you flip your hair one way, do all the things you need to do and then flip it back, you're just going to have more of that voluminous look. There's definitely something to be said about washing your hair every day versus washing it just a couple of times a week. When you wash your hair every day, you're actually stripping it of all its natural oils, and it can be a little bit harsh on your hair. So your scalp is actually going to be trying to overproduce oils because you're taking away all of its moisture. It's the same way with your skin. If you have oily skin and you don't moisturize, your skin is just going to create more and more oil. But if you actually give it the moisture that it needs, slowly over time, it will be less oily. I've definitely experienced that both with my hair and my skin. I used to have really oily skin as well as a really oily scalp. And I've definitely noticed that neither of those things are the same really anymore since I wash my hair less and I give my face and my skin the moisture that it actually needs. So I'm definitely speaking from experience there. If you find that your hair gets greasy super fast, it's probably because you wash it too often or because your hair is very thin and so the oils can spread very easily. If you do struggle with that and you find it really hard to go through the process of retraining your hair to only be washed a couple of times a week, because I know that is a long process and you do have to deal with greasy hair sometimes, and dry shampoo does really help, but sometimes you just don't want to go through that. I would recommend to avoid applying conditioner to your roots when you're trying to create that volume in your hair, because it's just going to weigh down your roots at the end of the day. And if you're applying it to the ends and avoiding the roots, it's probably going to help to get more volume there. But I am not saying to not moisturize your roots, because I definitely think that's very important. So what I would say if you're doing that, if you're not applying conditioner to your roots, is to use a thick hydrating mask before you wash your hair. So I would apply it all over your hair, especially at your roots, do like a thick hydrating mask and then shampoo and just apply your conditioner to the ends of your hair. So it's still getting the moisture that it needs, but you're not weighing it down in the moment when you're about to style your hair, if that makes sense. Another thing that I've heard people talk about is actually applying their conditioner before they shampoo when they're doing their styling routine and washing their hair. Is they'll actually put their conditioner on first and then shampoo, and it actually creates more volume, but they're still getting that moisture. I personally have never tried that out because I don't really feel like it's something that I need to do, but it might be worth trying if you really struggle with weighed down hair and you're not able to get the volume that you want. You could maybe try doing conditioner first and then shampooing. But at the end of the day, I really think retraining your hair to be washed a couple of times a week is going to make the biggest difference. And I know I've said it so many times, but it is really important to clarify your hair because you're going to be removing any buildup on your roots, and then you're going to have more volume because your hair is less weighed down. That's just kind of a given. So I definitely recommend to clarify at least once or twice a month especially if you're using like a moisturizing shampoo that's super natural. Like sometimes you do need something that's just a little bit more harsh to get rid of all that buildup that you have from all the products that you use on your hair. Especially the more products you use, the more often you should be doing it and the more important it is. One more thing I want to mention that you could try is using a hairspray instead of a dry shampoo. If you're finding that dry shampoo isn't quite enough, maybe layer the two even. I would recommend getting a lighter hold, like texturizing hairspray. I'm using this one from Dove right now. It is a flexible hold hairspray and it says it's on number 4 from the 1 to 5 scale, but I would say it's probably more of a 3 or even a 2. It's not super strong hold at all, but I do feel like this creates nice volume. But any hairspray that you have, maybe try layering it with the dry shampoo if you find that the dry shampoo isn't quite enough, and just do it on your roots and then shake that out. And that could also be something that would help you guys out, just to create more volume at your roots. At the end of the day, it's just going to be easier for some people to create volume than others, just based on your hair specifically. But I do really hope that these tips help you guys out and maybe you discover something that actually helps to create volume within your waves or curls. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to try and make it a little quicker. I know I can talk for so long sometimes, so I apologize for that. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Walking downtown and I'm okay. He's got it all figured out. It's what they all say, yeah. Everyone's looking at me thinking that I'm different.